thinking about how you can't really, there are layers. There's a sustainable path, a natural path, growth, pattern that we all have to kind of develop in. And so even just the example that you gave, that people couldn't even read, so
Exactly.
there was a lot of personal development or inner work that wouldn't even be able to grasp it. Now that's definitely not where we are now, because collectively we are at obviously people, for the most part, fortunately, and there's a lot of misfortune about that, can read and have access, and collectively our vibration is higher. But by the way, I have a little mini series within my podcast called Metaphysics of the Bible. So I love to dig in and talk about the symbolism. But what just occurred to me was, Jesus is the Lord, Yeshua is the Lord of the Piscean age, and
Yes.
the Christianity and Jesus, the fish symbology and everything,
Yes.
all about, I hadn't really thought of that before. So
I mean, you just went into a very, very deep aspect of magic. It's actually one of the aspects of
about age. Jesus is the Lord, Yeshua is the Lord of the Piscean age, and
Yes.
the Christianity and Jesus, the fish symbology and everything.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, a lot of y'all don't even realize that, and that's the reason why you see cars driving around with Jesus inside the fish. You see the letters Jesus inside the fish. Why? Because it represents Pisces. We are in the age of Pisces, but we're leaving Pisces now. We are moving into the age. We are already in the age of Aquarius, which is the water bound. You see what I'm saying? The water bearer, right? So Pisces is over. Remember, Jesus said in the Bible, he said, I will be with you until the end of the age. So now we're in a new age now. That's the reason why they're getting rid of Christianity. So all you people out here sitting there stuck and waiting on Jesus, you waiting for nothing. You're going to be left behind because the time is moving forward. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand Christianity is all astrology. Y'all taking it literal. You know what I'm saying? When Jesus said, I will be with you until the end of the age, it's talking about the zodiac. This is all astrology. We're leaving Pisces. We're going into astrology. We're going into Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I keep telling y'all it's important to study occult science and astrology and stuff like that, because this is the reason why if the beast is studying it, you need to be studying it. You're not going to understand the Bible. That's the reason why y'all need to put the Bible down, because y'all lost in it.
All about, I hadn't really thought of that before. So
I mean, you just went into a very, very deep aspect of magic. It's actually one of the
Now watch what he say.
aspects of magic that I love and could get lost in for days at a time. People don't realize that not only is Christianity symbolic of the age of Pisces, all other religions are also products of the age that they come from. When you're talking about going back to ancient Samaria, where magic began, I used to do these tours at the Met where I would take people through like the Near Eastern section and give them like the history of magic, how magic develops. And one thing that you see in all of these old Sumerian statues is you'll see these gods and these goddesses and these mythical creatures that all have these bull horns on their head. They're wearing crowns made of horns. And at first I would think, well, why bull horns? That seems like a really pedestrian thing for a king or a god or a queen or whoever to be wearing. So when you start doing research into it, one of the very few things that you'll find about it is those bullhorns represented kingship or divinity. And you think, well, that's okay, that's fine, but why did it represent those things? It's because at the time that ancient Samaria, you're talking about the religion of polytheism, many gods, many goddesses. At the time that is the dominant feature of the religion of the world, what the Sumerians knew, they understood very, very precisely events that were going on in the heavens. For example, the equinoxes. What we now know as the precession of the equinoxes, what this means, and this is why all different cultures have paid so much attention to the spring equinox. If you stand facing east at the spring equinox for 2000, between 2100 and 2500 years, you will see the sun rise in the same constellation of the zodiac. If you were to stand facing east in ancient Sumeria on the spring equinox, you would have seen the sun rise in the sign of Taurus for over 2000 years, which is where the bullhorns come from.
Right.
Skip ahead about 2,150 years, if you would have stood, and this, keep in mind, then this would have been the age when Judaism was the religion that was starting to spread throughout West.
Watch what he about to say.
Spiritual path spread throughout Western culture. It was the big growing spiritual path. If you stood facing east at this time, and watched the sunrise at the spring equinox, you would have seen the sunrise in the sign of Aries. This is why in Judaism there's all these symbols like, the Jewish priests play the ram's horn. Yeah. It's why when Abraham's getting ready to sacrifice Isaac, God sends a ram to him instead. Yes. It's why when Moses comes down off of the mountain, he freaks out when he sees people worshiping the golden calf.
Because it's outdated.
Yes,
that was Taurus. Calf. Y'all were
exactly.
Here in Aries.
Yes.
And the burning bush as well, the fire symbology.
Exactly.
So y'all get it? It's all symbolism. It's all astrology. The burning bush. Moses saw the burning bush. The burning bush represents Aries. Aries is what? Fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like he just said, let me rewind it back when he said about the rams. You know what I'm saying? They seen the rams, and that's why they freaked out, because that was Taurus. The ram's head represents Taurus. Taurus, which is the bull.
Freaks out when he sees people worshiping the golden calf.
Because it's outdated.
Yes,
that was Taurus. Calf. Y'all were
exactly.
Here in Aries.
Yes.
And the burning bush as well, the fire symbology.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then whenever you skip ahead 2,150 years later, you stand facing east at the time of the spring equinox and you see the sunrise in the sign of Pisces. Mm-hmm. This is why, there's all this fish symbolism in Christianity, like Jesus called his disciples fishers of men. Mm-hmm. Whenever he feeds the multitudes, he feeds them with 2 fish. Even in the earliest churches that they're starting to excavate in the world now, they have found that there were no crosses in these churches. Instead,
So, like I said, once again, the fish is Jesus. Jesus is the fish. The fish represents what zodiac sign? Pisces. We're out of Pisces now, which means we're out of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? We're leaving Christianity. And that's the reason why, they still, they got all these, these new up and coming preachers out here, still preaching this Jesus thing, because they still trying to keep it going. But people know that it's over, because we're already in Aquarius right now. You know what I'm saying? So right now they're already working on this one world order thing. So all these religion stuff, these religions is about to be like kicked to the curb. And that's the reason why I had that video when they was showing the lady kicking the Bible as a football. She was using the Bible as a football and she was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was showing you that was a symbol or symbolism letting you know that it's over. It's done. We kicking that joint. We kicking that religion out because we left Pisces. We're in Aquarius. Which is Aquarius? The age of information, the age of technology. You see that right now. I'm talking to you on a smartphone.
That they found in all the tile work and everywhere else was a symbol of 2 fish laying end to end. Mm-hmm. At one point, Jesus even tells the disciples, he says, "I'm getting ready to leave you." They say, "Well, what do we do when you leave?" He says, "Follow the man with the water pitcher into his house." Well, men did not carry water pitchers in those days. That was considered entirely women's work. However, the sign of Aquarius, which is what the sun would be going into next, is...
So there you have it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So Jesus told them, you know what I'm saying, follow the guy with the water barrel. It's all astrology. You cannot take it literally. You can't take this. Look, it's like basically they took astrology and made it into a story. It made it seem like it was actually like human beings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's all pertaining to the stars. Watch what he said.
Symbolize, however, the sign of Aquarius, which is what the sun would sit with the water pitcher to leave you. They say, well, what? At one point, Jesus even tells the disciples, he says, "I'm getting ready to leave you." They say, "Well, what do we do when you leave?" He says, follow the man with the water pitcher into his house. Well, men did not carry water pitchers in those days. That was considered entirely women's work. However, the sign of Aquarius, which is what the sun would be going into next, is symbolized by a bearded man holding a water pitcher.
Wow.
All of these religions are about the stars.
Whew. I'm just like, I'm exploding. It's so good. Such good stuff. Well, you know what else this reminds me of? All the ages that...
And if you don't study the stars, you won't know. And you know what's real funny about this? Is that some of y'all that's watching this video right now, you're spooked up. I mean, I just find this so hilarious, man. How they got the Christian people so spooked up in witchcraft. You spooked up in crystals. You're spooked up with astrology. All the tarot reading, tarot cards, all that stuff freak you out, right? You're scared of it, right? But little do you know that Christianity is nothing but witchcraft, astrology, you know what I'm saying, casting spells, doing hex, all types of stuff. Everything that you're afraid of, that's what you've been doing. That's what you've been trapped up in all your entire life. It's really like an oxymoron, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it really don't make no sense. How can you be, you'll bash something. You will bash witchcraft. You will bash astrology. You will bash, zodiac signs. But little do you know that the same religion that you claim you stand on is nothing but astrology. It's nothing but witchcraft. It's nothing but zodiac. The Bible ain't nothing but a zodiac. Why do you think they come out with the movie Da Vinci Code? You know what I'm saying? I would have to go back and watch that movie. Technically, really, honestly, when I watched it a long time ago, I really didn't pay attention to it. But I do remember what it was about. You know what I'm saying? At least bits and pieces of it. You know what I mean? But this is all based on the Bible. It was talking about the Bible and astrology and everything. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible is a code. You know what I'm saying? You must decode that book. So meanwhile, you're afraid of astrology, but you still celebrate your birthday. If I ask you, what's your zodiac, you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell, oh, I'm Capricorn, I'm Sagittarius, I'm Taurus, whatever. But then you will sit back and say, well, I don't get into astrology because that's like demonic. But you will celebrate your birthday. It don't make no sense. If it's really demonic, then why are you celebrating your birthday? Because your birthday is related to the stars. Your birthday is related to the signs. You see what I'm saying? So, like, y'all Christians, man, y'all really have to check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are duped. Y'all are completely under severe, heavy mind control. And your ego is going to keep you there. Your ego, your lack of willpower to want to learn something. You know what I'm saying? You're already in a reprobate mind. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you stay in that reprobate mind, you ain't gonna never know the truth.
The ruling ages.
You can stay there. I don't give a damn. Look, my job is to I gave you the motherfucking message.
Is the statue in Daniel 8. I get fidgety when I...
Yes.
The statue in Daniel 8 is really talking about all the different ages, ending at the feet with the 10 toes, which are like the splintering. So that's wow, good stuff.
Ages, and it also symbolizes, keep in mind that a lot of these stories have what they call front speech and back speech.
Yes.
Front speech is like the part of the story given to the masses. Back speech is the part of the story that is usually reserved only for initiates. One of the things that Jesus was trying to do away with, Crowley was trying to do away with, and it's part of what modern magicians are supposed to be doing as well. Once you reach a certain place in your spiritual development, it's sort of looked at as like your obligation to preserve these teachings so that people can find them in the future, so that they're not just restricted to a very small percentage. But when you're talking about the statue in Daniel, and this is one of...
And you got to even ask yourself, why do they do that? Why do they restrict this information from y'all? Because they want you to stay deaf, dumb, and blind. That's why. They want you to continue to work at Walmart. you know what I'm saying? They own the Walmart, but they need you to work there. You know what I mean? You think these big, rich, these so-called, powers that be, you know what I'm saying? You think they're gonna work at? They know they're gonna build the Walmart, but they're gonna get you to work there.
One of the things also, I always point out, Daniel is probably my favorite book of the Bible.
They're gonna create a program called gang stalking, but they're gonna get y'all dumb bots to participate.
Yeah. I have a framed picture of Daniel hanging above my bed. Most people will try to tell you that Christianity or that magic is anti-Christian, or that, it's the opposite of Christianity. If you read the book of Daniel, right there, it tells you as plain as day, it calls Daniel not only a magician, it says he is the master of magicians. And it says the way he becomes that is because when he is a child, the king Nebuchadnezzar has him sent to be trained by the Chaldeans, which is what they call the Sumerians, these priests who studied the stars. So he sends Daniel and all these other young boys to study under these Sumerian astrologers and magicians. Whenever he starts to have a dream at one point, he wakes up the next day and he doesn't even remember what this dream is. All he knows is it was incredibly unsettling. So he calls Daniel and all of these other magicians, his official court magicians, to him, and he says, not only do you have to tell me what my dream meant, you have to tell me what I dreamed. It says that Daniel can tell him what he dreamed because God sends Daniel the exact same dream. So in this dream, Daniel says, you dreamed of a statue that has a golden head, a silver chest and arms, a bronze belly and thighs, iron calves, and feet made of iron and clay. So on the outside, what this represents is, like you said, the ages of the world. Like he tells Nebuchadnezzar, you are the golden head of the statue. Babylon is the most valuable, perfected, sought after part of this statue. God has given you this kingdom. Everything that comes after you will be watered down, will be slightly less valuable. And it will keep going that way until this cycle starts over again. So you're talking about, you go from Babylon, which is the head, to Persia, which is the silver chest and arms, which is also just a crazy, amazing story, going into the Persian stuff and how that ties into the book of Esther.
I'm going to stop this right now because I don't want the video to be too long. I'm going to do another half. I'm going to keep recording. I'm going to do it. It's going to be another part 2. For those, this is red, black pill only, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you blue pill, you know what I'm saying? There's the door. Go ahead, find that door. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the door hit you where the bot should have split you. I don't know. Get out of here. We out. Holla back, y'all. DB Gang Stalking Simulation.